Good day, everyone. So today we have this beautiful game with us, The Long Dark by Hinterland, and we are going to check um, if we can play at 4K resolution at more than 60 FPS in RTX 4060 or not. So let's go to the options display. So the current quality is set to 2560 into 440, and let's check this first and see what FPS do we get. And the quality, we have everything set to full, ultra fine. So let's go back to the game and check if how many frame rates do we have. So we are getting somewhere around 140 frame rates per second on 1440p. Okay, let's try to move a little bit here and there so that we can get to know if there are any drops in the frame rates. So yes, roughly we have, okay, there's a drop. So when we opened the storage spaces, there was a drop of around drop to around 108 fps. Otherwise I think it's hovering around 140 fps, right? So 135, 138. Okay, so let's try to go into options display. Let's increase it to 4K to check if RTX 4060 can handle the long dark in 4K resolution. Okay, so with respect to quality, we have everything set to ultra. We can check in, okay, so quality ultra. Okay, so we have around 73 fps, 70. Okay, so let's try to harvest it a bit and check if there are any drops in the frame rates. No, there aren't any. 72 fps, which is good. Okay, so let's try this once again. 69, 70, fine. So okay, so it has dropped to 62 fps, 65. So we are getting somewhere around 60 to 65 fps in 4K Ultra HD. I'll repeat that the graphics card that we are using here is RTX 4060, and let's try to open this and see if there are any major drops in the frame rates. Okay, so the worst we got was 49, but it was still smooth, so I think it's not an issue because when we open the storage box we don't move here and there. Okay, so let's go into display. Okay, so 4K. Let's see if there is anything which we can further increase. I don't think there is any texture resolution from. I think we cannot go beyond this. This is the max we have, and okay, fine. This is what we have. Nothing more than that. 62 FPS indoors. Let's go outdoors once again. So 65. So yeah, overall I think we are getting roughly somewhere around 60 to 65 fps, which is good, and it shows that you can play the long dark and 4K Ultra HD resolution if you have RTX 4060. And you can see the max power that this card is drawing is roughly around 113 watts. Let's try to move a bit. Okay, let's leave the vehicle. Okay, 65 fps again. Let's try to go indoors and do something to check if we can get the frame rates drop below 50. Okay, tomato. Let's try to harvest this back down. Okay, so the frame rates are 54 to 56. Try this one again. Drop to 55 being the worst. So let's do this once again to check if there are any big drops in the frame rates. No. Okay, so let's try it once again. 58 was the worst we got. Okay, so but the good thing is when you are harvesting something, you don't really move around. So even if there is a drop in the frame rates, it's fine as long as it's not below 40 or 30 fps. Okay, so we have windy, and I think this is highly graphics intensive situation, but we are still getting good 60 fps here. So it overall, I think, first of all, I must appreciate Hinterland for producing such a good quality game, and I will request everyone to support them by buying this game and playing it. So I have been playing this game for more than 2 years, and waiting for the next episode that they are going to launch. Okay, so let's try to go around different places to check if there are big drops in the frame rates. Okay, so I think it's still 59, 60. Let's make this event go out if we can. Let's check if this storage cupboard can drop the frame rates. Okay, so 48, but I think we don't really have to move when we are opening it, so it's fine. Let's try to check what weather is it, and if further frame rate drop is there or not. Okay, so once again, this is one thing I must tell is that this weather is very kind of graphics intensive. So let's check 1080p and see if we get good FPS in there. Okay, so with 1080p we are getting more than 145, 150 FPS. So once again, I would repeat that if it was a daytime, we would have gotten at least 200 FPS with 1080p. This is my okay, so 120ish, 130ish on 1440p. During daytime we were getting roughly around 140 frames per second, but 1080p we were getting 130 fps, and it was majorly because it was the night time, and the scenery was very graphic intensive. As soon as we have moved in more inside, we are getting more than 200 fps on 1080 pixels. So overall, I think it should give you more than at least 160 fps when played on 1080 pixels. So right now we are indoors and we are getting more than 200 fps. So on 1440 pixels it was giving us at the daytime outdoors, it was giving us around 140 frames per second. So I think it should give us at least 150 to 160 fps on 1080p on RTX 4060 that I have. Then that, let's move around a bit and check what else can we see here. So again 150 fps, but it's windy. So let's go to display and check what are we getting on 1440p. Okay, so drop to 140. So there isn't a huge difference between 1080p and 1440p, but let's check 4K if we can. Is it more than 60? Okay, so it's more than 60. So yes, we can play it at 4K Ultra HD on RTX 4060.